What's up, everybody? We are back. Our Kind of People, Season 1, Episode 2. My mother, myself. I'm loving this damn show. I'm loving this show. This show is so good. Like, so good. Leah is a damn fool. Everything about her in this episode pissed me off. Like, just everything. She was so naive. So naive. Like she really thought Teddy was just gonna step aside and let her take control of the company that easily? No way in hell. No way in hell. She was bugging to think that. And I'm glad Raymond lit into her ass because she was super naive, gullible as hell to think that, oh, I got some dirt on you. You ain't even look at the dirt. Like she thought she had something. Teddy said, "Oh, you guessing? You guessing?" Because I knew Teddy evil ass wasn't just gonna step aside and let his daughter beat him like that. Hell no. He did not. That man did not get this far in business and in life to get played so easily. There's no way in the world. And she was such a fool. I'm like, you ain't even look at the documents properly. If you would have looked at all the documents closely with a magnifying glass, she would have saw that if you screw your father over and send him to prison, you're screwing your husband in the process as well. Because there's dirt on Darman as well, which is the company that Raymond's great grandfather started with his friend Jack's great grandfather. They both started that company. But I did love that scene though with Raymond and Jack when they was on the yacht. I totally understood that scene. I totally understood where Raymond was coming from because Darman is on the verge of coming back from the brink of bankruptcy. Basically, they had a really bad quarter, a really bad year, or whatever, financially, and Raymond corrected the shit out of Jack. He said the only reason why the company was in financial trouble was because of your ass. The only reason that company is on the road of recovery is because of me. And Jack was sitting there like you're bugging, like, bro, that's that privilege. I understood that so well because I've been through that myself. You know how you just work jobs and stuff and you work your ass off and your privileged counterparts really don't do nothing, but they're the ones who get the praise and the glory and the promotions. I've been through that. So I totally understood. And Raymond wasn't here for it. Raymond was like, listen, I'm on the verge of getting this company back. It's gonna be an independent company again. It's no longer gonna be under Franklin Holdings. And when I get the company back, I'm gonna make moves to remove your ass from the company. I don't blame Raymond for that because he's sick and tired of Jack and his foolishness. Like him and Jack were raised as family, even though Jack is white, whatever. Because their grandfathers, great grandfathers, they family go way back. And he let him know. He said, "Yeah, we were raised as family, but we're not the same. You were privileged. I was not." You know what I'm saying? Like Jack would mess up all the time. His family would have to save his ass all the time. He would constantly get the company credit card to go buy whatever he want. Whereas Raymond, on the other hand, had to work hard to get to where he is today. Success did not it was not handed to him by his family or by anybody. He had to bust his ass for it. And I respect that. Totally respect that. I like the Raymond character. Morris Chestnut is playing the shit out this character. I like Raymond because he seems like he's not with the shit. Like when it comes to even Leah, he seems like I believe he loved Leah, but you could tell he's sick of her bull. Like he is so sick of her pretentious ass because that's just not the way he was raised. She was raised in privilege and all that stuff. She had stuff handed down to her because she was the princess, Teddy's little princess or whatever. But Raymond had to work hard. And you could tell Raymond cannot stand her bougie ass attitude. He really can't. When they were sitting up in there in that church and Angela and Aunt Piggy and Nicole, they was all sitting behind them and stuff, a few rows back on the opposite side or whatever. And Aunt Piggy was getting her makeup and stuff like that, fixing her lipstick, while Pastor John Gray was up in there preaching. And he did a real good job too. Pastor John Gray was up in there preaching. He was going in on that word. Um, because he was like, listen, if you don't take it by force, you will not take it at all. I felt that. When John Gray said that, I felt it. I felt it. I was like, listen, you better preach. I felt like I was in church. I was in church. I was sitting right there watching, just just paying attention to the word. But yeah, Leah was sitting there acting all bougie, stuck up. While everybody else was, jumping up saying amen and praising God. She's sitting there looking around like, like it's the ghetto or something. And I noticed the little looks that Raymond would give her. Raymond was looking at her like, really? Really? Like, why you acting like this? Like, that's how he be looking at her like, stop being like that. You are black. Act like it. Um, so she's sitting there talking to her little bougie friends, and they want to throw her a little celebration, a little gala or whatever to celebrate her, being on the cover of Forbes. She finally made the Forbes cover, and plus she's the new chairman of Franklin Holdings or whatever. So they want to throw her a little, gala or whatnot, celebrate her. So Angela came over to her and was like, we need to clear the air and whatnot. And Leah just went in on her. Like, she was like, listen, she said, I know your type. I looked at her when she said your type. I said, here she goes. She about to be on that foolishness. I know your type. She said, y'all save y'all money. Y'all come up in here and try to floss for the summer. She was like, yeah, but we hold it down all year round, though. She was like, we're in the front line all year round. When she said front line, I had to laugh because I said, really? Front line? Don't you mean your employees are in the front line? I'm just saying. And I love how Angela clapped back at her because Angela was like, listen, my mama and me look more like we're on the front lines. You are not. I said, exactly. What front lines are you on? Y'all pay employees peanuts while y'all reap the real financial reward of their hard work and their frontline work. So don't go there and play that game, Leah. Um. So anyway, they get to this little meeting that they're having and stuff like that at Franklin Holdings or whatever, and Lauren come up in there just hungover, short ass skirt, short dress. She just been partying her ass off all day, all night. And of course, Leah is appalled by it. She's embarrassed. Um, because Leah's the type of person, she cares too much about what people think of her, what her little high sedity friends think, what her mother-in-law think, what her father think, what the public thinks. She cares way too much because she's all about status and how we look in the public. You know what I'm saying? That's what she cares about. So, of course, she went over there to talk to Lauren about her drinking and her behavior being inappropriate and stuff like that. Um, so Lauren about to throw up, so she run to the bathroom, and Leah done looked at her phone and saw all these pictures of Lauren and Taylor together. And she saw the way in those pictures how Lauren was looking at her at Taylor. So she pretty much got the idea, okay, so my daughter's gay. And she just looked like she might be accepting of it when she was sitting at the table, but publicly she's not gonna accept it because she feels like, oh, that's not proper. She don't want people to talk about them or whatever. Again, she cares too much about what the hell people think. So they go to the Forbes photo shoot or whatever, and of course, Teddy pop up. Teddy coming up talking about, I ain't here to cause trouble. I ain't here to do that. Acting like he on her side, like he praising her for taking over as chairman of the board and stuff like that. Like he proud and stuff. And I was like, no, he's too nice. He's way too nice. Way too nice. Um, so of course, Leah had to hit him with the facts. She was like, talking about all the affairs that he had on her mother and stuff. And she was like, I remember we went to Boston one night. I said, oh shit, Leah, no. I had a feeling Leah knew that Angela was her sister. I had a feeling. She was like, I remember that night. She said it was raining. It was a little girl standing in the rain. And you was shaking and stuff like that, like your hand on the steering wheel was shaking, and he quickly changed that subject. He quickly changed that shit. He changed it up real fast. He knew what she was getting at, and she know, she knew all about it. Um, so her and Lauren or whatever went over to Angela's, and that's because she wanted to know more about Angela or whatever, but really she was fishing. She was fishing for information. And she was like, oh, I'm from Boston. You know, I'm from this section of Boston or whatever. And then they started getting into Lauren. because they mentioned how Nikki was going to see Taylor or whatever at the hospital and stuff like that. And Leah, of course, with her little bougie ass sitting here talking about something, oh, you need to stop worrying about Taylor or whatever, just acting a fool. Talking about, oh, I seen the pictures in your phone about how you be looking at her. And Lauren finally came out and just told her, I do love her. And she told her mother, you told me that you would love me, because I'm your daughter, that you love me no matter what. And basically, she was like, I do love you, but I just can't accept this. I said, Leah, you are trash. And the reason I say she trash is because at the end of the fucking day, everything Angela said about Leah is so true. Leah is a slave to that society, to that rich code that they live in on Martha's Vineyard. She's such a slave to it. Like, she allows that life, those people to dictate her and to dictate how she parents her children and how she acts. You know what I'm saying? Because everything with her in public has to be prim, it has to be proper. Oh, we got to be perfect. Your life is anything but perfect behind the scenes. You are human. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get people who got money, status, and power. If I had the money that certain people have and the status and the power, I wouldn't give a damn. I don't have none of what they got. And I still don't give a damn what people think about me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand how rich folk could care so much about what people think. And I love how Angela got on her ass and basically told her, you need to be careful because what you say next to Lauren is very important. It's crucial. And I agree. She need to fix that. Accept your daughter for who she is. And Lauren needs to walk in her truth. I felt bad for Lauren for the moment. I felt bad for her for the moment. But every time she encounters Nikki, that's where she pisses me off because every little ounce of me that feels sympathy for Lauren goes out the window when she acts like a straight bitch to Nikki. Because Nikki is actually on her side for whatever reason. Like, Nikki's trying to actually help her and be friends with her and be cool with her. But then she always got to come up, oh, you don't belong here. Like when they were at the Diamond Ball, oh, you don't belong here. You know what I mean? Like, and Nikki was about to reveal everything to her. She was like, oh, I do belong here. She was like, oh, I do belong here because, and Angela had to come up real quick and shut that down. Was like, don't say nothing. She said, no, what the hell are you doing? I don't blame Nikki because I would have did the same thing. Like, why are we sitting here pretending like we not family with these people? Like, you got the paternity test back and it came back 99.9 that y'all are Franklins. Biologically, you are a Franklin. Why not just go ahead and tell them? You know what I'm saying? Nip that shit in the bud. Like, I don't understand what you're trying to be all hush hush about it for. I would have spoke my piece. They would have known who the fuck I was when I came up in there. So speaking of that little meeting that they were at, Angela came up with the idea for the gala because she wanted to change course. She didn't want the gala to be this pretentious ass gala that only celebrates, these CEOs or whatever like that. You know what I mean? Like just everyday, like people who get celebrated every single day, like who always get celebrated for being CEOs and stuff. She was like, let's celebrate everyday people, the people who don't get recognized, the smaller people and stuff like that. And I agree. I totally agree with that. But nobody else seemed like they were feeling it at first until Leah came in talking about, oh, let's rename the gala, um, the black diamond ball or whatever, and we're gonna celebrate tech companies like tech people, philanthropists and all that type of stuff. And everybody was sitting there just clapping and smiling. Angela was looking like this bitch just stole my idea. Y'all wasn't even clapping when I said this 5 minutes ago. I agree. That's just how highfalutin people do. So I love how Angela went to go visit Leah's mother because she in some little home or whatever, and it looked like she may have Alzheimer's because when Angela came up in there, Mama Rose was like, "Oh, you did." She thought Angela was Leah. She was like, "Oh, you finally decided to come see me, you little bitch." I was like, I like Mama Rose. I like her. She is crazy. She reminded me so much of Lucius' mother from Empire. Oh my god. And her name was Leah, wasn't it? Leah Walker. Oh my god. She reminded me so much of Lucius' mother. That sharp tongue, crazy as a bat. Um, and so, Angela decided to play along, pretend to be Leah so she can get information out of her. about her mother. And Mama Rose just went in. Rose went the fuck in on Eve. When she heard the name Evelyn, she went in. She was like, yeah, me and Evelyn was friends or whatever. She was like, we was friends back in the day because Evelyn worked for me. Um, then she just went in about how Evelyn was just unfit to be a mother. They stopped being friends or whatever because basically Eve was fucking Teddy. She found out Eve was, messing around with her husband and told Teddy, you lie down with, dogs, you get fleas. She said in Teddy's case, he got a bastard. And Angela was pissed. Angela was just doing her hair hard as hell at that point. Like, oh, you don't know her like that. You don't know her. Just getting bad as hell. So Rose basically broke it down like, oh, Eve wasn't fit to be a mother. She gave up her child at birth and stuff like that. I said, oh. So that's when, Angela got the tea because it was stuff obviously about her mother past she really just didn't know. Like her mama gave her up for 6 months when she was first born and took $50,000 from a woman who desperately wanted a baby. Um, and she was pissed and just stormed out. So of course she confronted, Aunt Piggy about it, and Aunt Piggy broke down the whole story to her. She was like, what you think about your mother is not true. She said your mother actually loved the shit out of you. She was like, she gave you up at the time because for one, she didn't have no money. She didn't think that she would do right by you. Two, Teddy wasn't answering none of her damn phone calls. So she thought it would just be easier to give her up so she can go live, a nice life or whatever, thinking that she couldn't give her one. But it ripped her apart, to give her child up. So of course, after 6 months, she went and got her daughter back because she couldn't sign the papers. She couldn't give up her child. So she got her back. And, she was like, oh, did she give up the 50,000? She said, shit, she tried. But Aunt Piggy got into some little jam or whatever. And Eve had to use the money to get Piggy out of the mess. So Eve ended up working for the woman, working her ass off to pay that $50,000 back. And I love how Aunt Piggy was just breaking it down to her, like, what you think about your mother is not what you think. Like, it's not, everything's not what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? There's an explanation for it. Um, and I'm glad Aunt Piggy laid into her ass about them ashes because even Nikki was pissed off. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand Angela thinks that she's doing this for her mother, and I think she went there with the intention of building Eve's crown for her mother, building off her mother's legacy and stuff, finishing where her mother started. But now it just seems like a lot of what Angela's doing is for Angela. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just feels like that's what it's growing into. Um, because they kept telling Angela, your mother wanted her ashes to be spread here on the island. She said, I'm not spreading her ashes here. And I love how Aunt Piggy lit into her ass. She was like, listen, if you don't spread them ashes, I'll do it my damn self. Because that's her wishes. We gonna honor and respect her wishes. And I like that because I do agree. Even if you don't agree with your parent or a loved one's wishes, their final wishes, you need to abide by it. You need to respect it. That's what they wanted. That's their final wish. Do what the hell they wanted you to do. Um, so I'm glad she did that. Um, that was just, it's time for her to just come there and do what the fuck you gotta do, Angela, and stop the bullshit. So she ended up when she was with Tyreek, because she hired Tyreek to be her contractor to fix up the shop or whatever. And he ended up tearing down this little piece of wall and found a whole nother space that could expand the salon. And it had her mother's clothes and all her mother's stuff in the space. Big ass space too. I liked it. So she was happy about finding all them dresses and stuff. So they get to the damn diamond ball, the Black Diamonds ball. They get to the damn ball. Um, and look at Aunt Ella from House of Pain popped up on the red carpet and stuff like that. I was shocked to see Aunt Ella. I said, look at Aunt Ella. Uh, Aunt Ella. I love Cassie Davis. She popped up and stuff like that, on the black carpet because she owned a small business and stuff. This is where Leah pretty much got played by Teddy because he went right up on that stage and played her and was like, I ain't stepping down from a damn thing. She was so dumb to think that he would. Played her like a damn fiddle. And of course, Raymond was pissed the hell off that she was even gullible enough to freaking buy into it. I was like, of course. um, Angela was just frozen when she saw Teddy get off that stage. Like, she looked at Teddy like she saw a ghost. And Teddy knew exactly who the hell she was. He knew. He knew that was his daughter. He knew exactly who that was. Because when he went back to the office and stuff, and Leah confronted him about it, he didn't deny it. He was like, yeah, that's your sister. He was like, but we need to stop her ass because if she keeps digging, ain't no telling what family dirt she gonna find. So basically, he wants to do whatever the hell he can to protect their family, to protect their money, their company. He was like, listen, we gotta do what the hell we got to do around here because if she find out all of our dirt, he said it's gonna ruin all of us. Teddy ain't shit and Leah ain't shit either. Like, y'all just all about money. And y'all don't even really know what she want. It's like y'all just all about cash, trying to protect y'all little money. Um. So anyway, Jack, little crazy ass, he come up there after Leah was at the ball getting into it with Raymond. Jack come up in there, trying to comfort her or whatever. He end up kissing her. I said, see, Raymond need to whoop Jack ass. So Lauren was sitting there watching the whole damn thing. Lauren was sitting right there watching that kiss, and she was just shaking. Like, she looked like she was ready to tell Raymond. Because Raymond was wondering what the hell was going on, but before they could even get into it, the cops son came and they want to arrest Lauren for what happened to Taylor, because Taylor done woke up and said Lauren pushed her. And she wanted Nikki to, tell the cops that she didn't push her. And Nikki was like, well, shit, I can't tell them that because I didn't see what happened. And of course, Leah and them mad at Nikki. I'm like, why are y'all mad at her for being honest? That's just the type of person. She's honest. She didn't see what happened. She came after the fact, which is the truth. And Leah ass called herself trying to roll up on Nikki. Angela stepped in front. She was like, listen, don't get your ass whooped. She said, you better think twice about rolling up on my daughter. She said, do not get fucked up around here. Because she was definitely with the shit. And Angela looked like she was about to wear that ass out. You might want to back up. So now Lauren little ass going to jail. Maybe jail will do her little highfalutin snooty ass some good. Sitting up in there with all them big girls up in cell block C. Maybe that'll do you some good. And humble you a bit. Cause her and her mama definitely need to be humbled. And Nikki need to be careful around little Quincy because she had to let Quincy know, listen, we could be friends, but cause Aunt Piggy was like, y'all better remember that you cousins, that's your cousin. Hey, don't sit here and try to get all romantic with him now. That's your cousin. I said, for real. This ain't Alabama. We not doing that around here. We are not. But anyway, Tyreek seemed like, he a little thirst bucket. Like, he just trying to get them draws. Because every time you turn around, he just be trying hard to get at Angela. I don't blame him, though. Because I'm like, listen, Angela, you need to let him clear them cobwebs out. It's been 17 years since you got you some good. You need to let that man wax you a little bit. Just let him do it. I wouldn't trust Tyreek, though, because his loyalty seems to be with Teddy. Because apparently his father was head of security for Franklin Holdings or whatever. And he got shot in the line of duty. So, Franklin looked after him. Teddy looked after Tyreek or whatever after his father died. Angela was mad as fuck when she found out about that. She was like, so he could take care of a motherfucker that's not even his son. But I'm sitting here struggling. And she was about to dead ass reveal herself to be, a Franklin or whatever, but she had to stop herself. I wouldn't trust Tyreek. I mean, she should definitely let him hit it, but I wouldn't trust him though. It's like his, loyalty seems to be with Teddy. So you gotta, be careful of that. Tread lightly. Because you don't know whose side he really going to be on once you reveal all to him, even though it's about to be revealed. And I'm glad they did not drag this paternity out all season long. I am super happy about that. That they didn't do that. That it's happening pretty fast. Teddy ass done rolled up at the house. He done rolled up at Angela's house because Aunt Piggy, she was in the damn kitchen burning the picture. I think that was Teddy and Eve, like an old picture of Teddy and Eve back in the day. And she was in the kitchen burning the picture in the sink. And he done rolled up in there talking about, oh, I can't, old friends. And she pulled that gun out real fucking quick on his ass. Real quick. Cause any role Debbie Morgan play, her character gonna light your ass up. And let me just say this: Debbie Morgan looked good for her age. She looked bomb. But anyway, this episode was fire. I enjoyed it. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about it, and I will see you all later. Have a great night. Peace.